Welcome back, everybody, to Kyle Energy here at Yami Noob. We are doing some fun stuff to the ZX6 today. You guys have probably seen this is our intermediate bike giveaway. We were super stoked on this thing. I am super sport stoked, one might even say. Got him! As you guys remember, this motorcycle was purchased lightly used, and so we were going through and kind of crossing our T's and dotting our I's here on this bike and making sure everything is within spec and gonna be good to go when we take it out on track and have some fun with it. But as you guys know, it is a giveaway motorcycle. So hit the link down below to shop.yami.co. You can actually buy some of the stuff we're gonna be putting on this bike today and earn entries to win this motorcycle. If you don't wanna do that, go over to yaminoob.co, become a member, join our Discord. You can get all the entries you want to win this thing and you're not gonna wanna miss it. This bike, what are we doing to this bike today?
Well, we got a whole bunch of parts over on the table, but these are the sort of basic maintenance items that you're gonna wanna do anytime you pick up a used motorcycle, whether you buy it from a dealership or buy it from an owner. So let's check out all the parts that we got and go through it piece by piece.
All right, folks, the first mod we're gonna be doing to the ZX6, and it's the most important mod, we are putting on new tires on this motorcycle. We've got these spanking Bridgestone RS10 tires. These are a very track day specific tire. Not something I would normally recommend for a street bike, but we are taking this thing out to the track and I want some good grip and some good tire feel out of it. This motorcycle you've probably seen is fitted with some garbage OEM rubber that the dealership that I bought it from probably put it on because the guy who used to own the bike probably had some smoked Q3s or something like that on the motorcycle. So the first thing you want to do to a used bike is address your tires. Next up, Spite, if you want to tell the folks at home what these are, maybe they don't know.
If you don't know, these are biscotti. You're gonna sit here and just eat the snack on them while you're working on your motorcycle. Actually, these are fresh, new brake pads. Brake pads are a really easy thing to work on, yet if you're selling a motorcycle, you don't normally be like, all right, I'm gonna put 110 bucks worth of brake pads into your bike.
No chance.
No way. So we went and got some new brake pads, and they're really gonna help. I did bleed the brakes on this bike, as you saw before, and it improved the front, but the rear brake it's still a little squishy, and I'm thinking that since bleeding it didn't work, a set of new brake pads will certainly help. And that, I mean, this is a super easy thing to do, especially since we're taking the tires off anyway. So.
Yeah. Next up, we've got a clear windscreen. Oh, thank God. You don't have to do the smoked windscreen 600 boy mod that everyone does. Guys, the smoked windscreen is a bit silly. It does not functionally help the motorcycle at all. It reduces your visibility when you go full on in the bubble in the pocket. Get a clear windscreen. Why?
I've had to listen to him rail on about dark windscreens ever since we bought the ZX6.
Not only that, but every bike we get on Twisted Road that's a 600 has them. Yep. Our new giveaway bike has it, which we can't mention just yet, but it's annoying. The other thing that's annoying too is, I've harped on about this many times, tank grips. Oh my God, every sport bike needs tank grips. The ZX6 is no exception. Get yourself a nice bit of purchase on your leg there when you're hanging off with the track. It makes everything so much better. If you ride a sport bike and you don't have tank grips, you are doing it wrong. And the common thing we see too with tank grips is guys will just put the belt buckle guard and not the side tank grips. That doesn't do anything. You're not gonna get grip from your belly button while you're riding. That's crazy. It's not a little umbilical cord to the gas tank keeping you and the bike together, okay? You gotta put the tank grips on the side of the bike so they work, all right, folks? Do we have any other mods?
Yeah, so one thing that is something you should be doing a lot on your motorcycle, especially if you ride in drier or dirty conditions, cable lube.
Yes.
So we bought a thing of cable cleaner. Normally, you would also have a little tool that clamps on. We don't have it. You do this without, it's just a little bit harder. It's not that difficult. It takes like 10 minutes. So we're going to be lubing and cleaning these cables to basically give them a more factory fresh feel so you don't need to go out and buy a whole bunch of new cables. We're also going to adjust the cables and the chain today, which is just gonna help it feel more fresh.
Yep, let's get into it.
Alright guys, we got the new windscreen on. It was a very difficult job, all of 6 bolts that held this thing on. It's really nice to get a new windscreen on a bike because these black ones show scuffs and marks really easily. This is a lot cleaner. It actually looks just cooler in my opinion because you can actually see down, you can see where Kawasaki stamped it, you can look at all the stuff in here. I understand why people do this, but it just doesn't look all that great, in my opinion. And obviously, Yam is a big fan of its track day potential, being able to see through it.
If you want to go fast, you got to see where you're going. It doesn't make any damn sense. Literally doesn't make any sense.
And with that done, you're working on getting the front wheel off, and I'm going to start cleaning and oiling these various cables up here. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so I got the clutch cable unhooked here, and you can see it moves okay. There's a lot of noise in it though, so that makes me think that this cable is very dry. There's also some just grease on here that I'd like to get off. There are some spots where the outer sheathing is opening up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the cable itself is bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get some WD down this and some cable lube, and then we're going to just see how it feels. And I'm thinking this cable's good for several thousand more miles. So let's see how it goes. Alrighty guys, so there is a specific cable lubing tool that you can buy. And I have one, and I forgot to bring it today. So I was gonna pick one up, but they didn't have one at the store that I was at. Usually it's like 10 bucks. Sometimes it even comes with the cleaning solution, because it's really just a cheap part, and you bolt it on, and you give yourself like a 5-second spritz, and it all gets forced down the cable and out the bottom. But if you don't have it, don't worry, you can actually still do this job. It just takes a little bit longer. All you need to do is spritz a little bit at the top like I'm doing, and then just pull the cable yourself. And you will actually feel, as it's working its way down, you'll feel a real improvement in the way that this cable moves. It's already gotten a lot lighter, a lot quicker to pull. Like it retracts really quickly. So I'm just gonna keep working this until I start seeing fluid come out the bottom, and then I'll probably do another couple of spritzes just to force some nasty crud out of the bottom, and then I'll hook this up, move on to the throttle cables. Alrighty guys, so there is a little bit of debate, I suppose, depending on how you like your clutch cable to feel, but generally you don't want it to be flippy floppy like that, so you want to take out as much slack as you can. And while you're doing it, make sure you're moving the lever around so that you can actually feel how much throw you're taking out. I'm going to move a little bit faster here. Just a little bit on the high side. That's feeling pretty good to me. And man, with that cable all lubed up, it's feeling really good. Now, as you're adjusting this, if you put your bike down into gear and it starts rolling forward while you have the clutch in, that means you need more tension in your clutch cable. So once you feel your nice smooth spot and it's got the slack that you want and your clutch isn't creeping when it's sitting on the ground, you're good to go. Alrighty, so I have just finished lubing up the cables on here, but I also took the time to disassemble the throttle and actually clean and lube the pivot point here. It's just always nice while you are, while your bike's laid up, to just spend a few seconds working on stuff, because now the throttle is so much snappier and it requires less effort to pull. It just feels better. I've also adjusted using the barrel adjusters here. Super duper easy, just set it up so that it feels nice to you. You want a little bit of free play in the throttle, but not too much. I like just a smidgen, I want the throttle tube to basically rattle, and that's about it. And then once you got that all set up, you're all done. Throttle is super easy to maintain, so just take a few seconds and use some lube.
All right, folks, we've done our mods today on the ZX6. Pretty simple stuff, and you will notice that we did stuff that actually matters. We see a lot of 600 boys doing stuff like tail tidies and anodized colored levers. Focus on the fundamentals first, folks. Make sure you got good tires on the bike, make sure it's all checked and good, and make sure you're doing functional and good upgrades like a clear windshield and a tank grip set right there. It's
Yeah, and I mean, while the basic maintenance stuff that we did today, brake pads, cleaning pivot points, and lubing chainstay is really not sexy at all, it makes a big difference, especially if you let it sit for a while and then you come back and do it all. It really feels brand new almost.
Yeah, like this clutch over here feels great. It feels like a brand new clutch.
Yeah.
Feels good.
And all it takes is like 20 minutes worth of work. You lube the pivot point, you lube the chain, and then you're done. And that's it. So just a couple of little things here and there really refresh the bike, and these mods make it look like an actual respectable motorcycle.
Yeah, the only thing that's not so respectable is the gas cap here. We still have this weird gold gas cap, but in the interest of keeping this economical and affordable, we are not going to be swapping this out. We're keeping it as a remnant of the 600 boy who used to own this thing. But the only thing left to do now is we're going to set the suspension and get this bad boy out on track. We've got a bunch of fun track day videos coming up with this motorcycle. You're not going to want to miss it. And make sure you get entered to win this thing. Go to shop.yaminoob.co or go to yaminoob.co and get yourself your entries to win the ZX6. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Well, 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 my little squid, you've made it to the end of yet another Yami Noob video. Thank you so much for watching. Just for you, got a little treat for you right over here. Brand new video for you. You can watch it, check it out. There's probably some squidding, some street riding, maybe some track riding. Maybe I'm binning my Ducati off-road. Who knows what's going on in that video? You should probably click on it and find out.